By now, I'm sure you've seen these trendy molds and all of the viral recipes that come along with it. And as I've started to get more into cooking, it is starting to feel less and less wholesome because of the constant pressure to buy the latest gadget and test the latest viral recipes. So today I want to test out a few things, but mostly I'm looking to look at cooking as an act of resistance, not a reason to spend more money. And I'm also looking to look at the time I spend in my kitchen as a practice in creativity and a way to save money and reduce waste. So we'll do some food prep together today while I yap about my thoughts around all of that. I want to talk about these cubes for a second before we get started with the cooking because they have taken over my feed. As I've tried to start cooking more, eat healthier, more fiber, more protein, all that kind of stuff. I know it's not usually what I talk about, but it's taken over my social media feed because I'm trying to learn about it more in depth than I ever have before. These super cubes keep coming up because they seem to be something that help people prep ingredients, meal prep food so that they can freeze it and then, you know, like just make their lives a lot easier, which like in theory sounds good. The thing about me is though, I'm really weird about textures and there's almost nothing that I've seen people putting into these cubes that I would want to eat after it's been frozen, which does admittedly make my life very difficult. So I want to use these to prep some parts of my usual meals that don't matter so much about what texture it is. The other thing I think I want to try to use these for is actually prepping food for my best friend who is 5 days out from having a baby, her first baby, and I don't know who's more nervous, she or I, but I thought I could prep some food for her and her husband in these that they can just like pop in the microwave and eat. She's not as weird about texture as me. So I think we can use these to prep some of that, but that's what these are. Let me know if you've tried them, if they have taken over parts of your feed, not only on the scrolling apps, because I know a lot of us are trying to scroll less. I've definitely been scrolling less, but I've seen them there. I've also seen them on YouTube. I think like once the algorithms figure out that you want to learn about food, it immediately seems to start pushing the products that people are using.
I got the whole freaking set.
Yeah, let's get going. First thing I want to test these out with is a recipe that I make on a weekly basis now. If I find something that I like and it's easy and it's hitting all of the nutrients I need to be getting, the fiber and the protein, which we talked about, then I just make it every week. That's been my new, I'm sure this is not a revolutionary idea, okay? But it's been working really well for me. Recently, for me, that has been my tofu sheet pan bake. It's really easy. I've made it in a video before. I have adjusted the recipe, made it my own, put it on my website, so I'll link it below if you want to see it. But I need soy sauce for it, and I just ordered some more via Thrive Market. I also am just learning what tamari is, which is gluten-free soy sauce. So I got regular soy sauce and gluten-free soy sauce from Thrive Market, who are the sponsor of today's video. Thrive Market is absolutely one of my all-time favorite businesses because they have a zero waste warehouse. They deliver everything to your house, carbon neutral shipping. They're B Corp certified and they make it so easy to find a more sustainable version of the things you're already buying. For example, organic soy sauce doesn't exist at my grocery store. And I find that I can find like more small, sustainable brands on Thrive Market than I can find in my regular grocery store. But I also feel that they are a lot more affordable most of the time when I'm price checking. I've made a habit to start doing that recently. Thrive Market kind of always comes out as the most affordable option. And for every membership to Thrive Market, they donate one to a family in need, which to me just screams actual sustainable ethical business. And as I've been going on and on about, plastic is not the #1 driving factor of what I think of as sustainable these days, but obviously I just unwrapped all of that with no plastic and their warehouse is zero waste. So I think that that's reducing environmental impact by so much. The rest of the stuff in here is supplements for my partner. Thrive Market is working towards becoming the world's first climate positive grocery store, so I think they're an incredible resource to support. And if you want to try them today and you go to thrivemarket.com/ShelbyOrm, you can get 30% off of your first order plus a free gift worth up to $60. These days, I'm just trying to keep my money out of the hands of people who are doing bad things with it. Thrive Market is not those people. Okay, now we get all the other things I need from the pantry to make the sauce of my tofu sheet pan bake, okay? I don't think there's any world in which I use these to prep the whole meal. I don't want to eat pre-frozen rice. That sounds like a nightmare to me. I don't want to eat pre-frozen vegetables. I cannot stand the texture, and I don't also want my tofu to be pre-frozen. But what I can do, and honestly what takes me the most time every time I make that recipe and that I dread doing, is making the sauce. I can use the recipe to make several portions of that sauce, and then it makes every time I go to make my sheet pan bake that much easier. So that's why we need the soy sauce. That's what we're gonna do now. Okay, I set that to the side so that it can cool, so that we don't get like condensation on the top of it. Plus I have still 3 cubes left to fill, and then we're gonna make pasta because I prepped sauce. I made this sauce a couple months ago and it's been sitting in my freezer. This is the last one I have of the stuff that I prepped, but I can use this and it makes me prepping this pasta for my friend even easier. So we're gonna use pasta, this sauce. I ordered the smallest thing of spinach from my grocery store last week, and they gave me the biggest thing of spinach I have ever seen. So I need to use this up. I don't have enough room in my freezer to freeze more of it right now. So I'm just gonna use this, put it into the cubes, and some of it can go to them so that they can have pasta with spinach if they want. I'm gonna use a ton of garlic and it should be really good. And then I can keep some for myself if I want. But I know spinach wilts down and like in the end of it, this will be like 2 handfuls, but I don't want it to go bad. So let's get busy. So I'm thinking with the other 3 cubes we have, we can do the spinach, and then this whole 6 other cubes can be the pasta. And something else I was thinking while I was getting all this together is this could be a really cool way for me to prep food for the free fridges in Austin. If you haven't heard me talk about those before, we have like fridges and pantries essentially all around the city. They're not directly associated with the city, so they don't have so much red tape, and basically you can prep food and then just take it there for people. And I think this is a really easy way to do that and just go drop it off at the pantries when I have like too much food. And it's also a cool way to use it if something's going bad and I don't have enough room in my freezer, which is a whole other issue I'm trying to find a solution to without buying another freezer. I don't want to be someone who owns like 6 fridges or freezers. Childhood trauma. But even if I couldn't go give it out to the pantries, I could offer it up on my Buy Nothing group. I'm always just looking for ways to make the things I'm doing bigger than just myself, and those are 2 things I was just thinking of that I could use them for. Today we just make it for my friend, but in the future I have the cubes, so maybe I could use them for things like that. These are the pieces that I couldn't microplane earlier. I don't know if that's weird to throw them in with this, but sometimes I just save them. I'll put them in olive oil and save them to flavor olive oil. But I think for right now, I'm just gonna throw them into the spinach because there's gonna be so much, I don't think they'll really be able to tell. That's probably enough. I think I overdid it with the water because a lot of times I underdo it. How many times have you made pasta and then be like, oh, I should have gotten a bigger pot? Happens to me all the time. That's maybe overkill, but that's fine. And this is heating up. I did some of these garlic, well, it's just garlic in here, but then I have some of these. This is sauteed onion, frozen, that I froze because I made too much. It smells really good, and I'm gonna throw the spinach in here after these onions melt down a little bit more. There we go. It's getting there. I know I haven't dived too far into my like texture stuff, talking about it in this video because I talk about it too much maybe. I'm really picky when it comes to textures, and it is really unfortunate for me because it makes prepping food and just like eating food a lot harder. And I've done a lot of work with my anxiety and just like all my mental stuff over the years to like expose myself to stuff to make it work for me, or just keep trying at it till I figure out certain things that work, and this is no different. Trying to figure out how to make my life easier and more healthy, even though I have weird texture things. Like, fun fact about me, pretty much every vegetable, I can only eat it cooked or raw, never both. I'm working past some of that stuff, but all that to say, I don't know that this frozen is something I would like, but I can just eat it for dinner because it will be fresh for me. I hate our stove. If I lean on this, it turns it on. Okay, let's drain the pasta. Oh, it smells so good. This is really good. I talked about it when I made it, but this is the Wicked Kitchen's pasta sauce. It's so good. I said that I was trying to spend more time in the kitchen. I'm trying to get more creative. I'm trying to think of it as a way to build a skill, like, for my community outside of myself. I feel like the things I try that I have the most success at is when my efforts are focused on something other than just myself. And so I'm trying to share more of me attempting to cook because you asked for it. So I hope that you enjoy this, even though everything I'm making is very basic. Hopefully it gives you like some inspiration or something to do in your kitchen. Some different ways to use the super cubes if you were got by all the people talking about them. I think more than anything, the reason I'm making this video is because making a video out of it motivates me a lot more to get all of this done. So hopefully you like it. Now let's try to pour this into those cubes and hope it goes well. Now we want to just put some sauce on top of what I just did. That way it kind of like molds together. Okay, next time for reference, maybe I would have just put the pasta in and then poured the sauce on top. Maybe that would have worked better. I'm gonna take some of this out for me to eat since these are full and put the sauce on top. I just know someone in the comments is screaming at me about how I could have made this easier on myself. Thank you. I will use it next time after you tell me. Okay. Voila. What I just did with this spinach feels a little bit genius. I had so much spinach, I did not know how I was gonna get through it before it went bad. Now I've just made 3 cubes that I can freeze, and even those cubes are probably big. I could probably break them in half whenever I wanna make some of it, and it's taking up so much less room in my fridge/freezer, and it's already cooked and ready, and wilted spinach I feel like is the texture it is when it is. So if I can think of more ways to use them to do stuff like this, then I think it's a game changer. Honestly, like, that made such a big difference in how stressed I am about getting through stuff in my fridge and making sure stuff doesn't go bad. And I just had a little bit left, so I put it in here with my pasta, and so I'm about to just eat this for lunch, and then we will keep going. The cubes are frozen, and now is the moment where we take them out of the cubes. The thing that I think is kind of cool about these is that you only really need 1 set of them, because as soon as it freezes, you can just pop them out, store them in something else, and make something else. At least that's my intention. So let's see if that's actually what plays out when I try to pop these out. Okay. Okay. Also, just to report back on one thing, I know I left you hanging a little bit after I made my lunch, but this spinach mixture that I made with the like frozen pre-sauteed onions and garlic is so good. It's gonna become a regular rotation in my household. I just need you to know that. Okay, something a little weird here is there's something watery right there. Like, not frozen. These should be well frozen. It's been a couple days. So I don't know if there's something in these that doesn't freeze well. These 2 are the ones I did not put the tapioca starch in. Ooh, it's probably oil. I didn't put tapioca starch in this one or the green onions because I figured I could do that like when I reheat it, throw the tapioca starch in there as it's reheating, and the green onions, and that it would maybe hold a little more flavor. I was basically testing to see which version would be better. I think because there's so much oil in here, like sesame oil. Actually, is that the only oil? I feel like that shouldn't really mess the mixture up. Whatever, let's pop them out and see what we think. Oh no. Okay. Lesson learned. This is the one that has the tapioca starch in it. It's like okay, but it's like mushy. Oh, I do not like that at all. It doesn't really matter how it feels as long as when I cook it, it's fine. Let's pause on those. I know the spinach is gonna be. Oh, yes. Let's go. Now this, again, it's like frozen. Oh no, that one's not really. It's not perfect by any means, but I'm gonna use it. It'll do. These, on the other hand, the pasta and the spinach, it says 1/4 of a cup, 1/2 of a cup. There's even measurements on the side. Oh my God, wait, that's so cool. Okay, look at this. 1/4 of a cup, 1/2 of a cup. These are 1/2 cup portions. Obsessed. Okay, aside from the sauce, the stuff I made for myself, not a huge success. The stuff I made for my friend, kind of a huge success. And what's really nice about this, I think, what I decided to make, oh yeah, it fits standing up, amazing, is that basically it's a 1 to 1/2 ratio. So for each of these little blocks that she wants to make, she can just put 1/2 of the spinach block with. At least that was my plan. Oh my God, these are gonna fit like a freaking dream. Oh, stop it. I'm obsessed. Beautiful, amazing, stunning, never been done before. Can I show you the cutest thing this squirrel that lives in my backyard does? It just like lays down on a tree branch and just like lounges the day away. He just came out of this, which is supposed to be an owl box, but the squirrel's taken it to be his own. I just watched him come out of this and just like plop down. Just chill. So my friend that we meal prepped for, the one that's having a baby, I would say she and I are like on a similar level of cooking. Neither of us have any kind of like professional training. We're just trying to get by. We have some recipes that are good, you know, we're on the same level. My best friend in the neighborhood, my neighbor, a couple houses down, is getting a surgery this week. And I just realized that she is, but she has formal training. She's like a trained professional chef and she's not practicing, but I feel like the thought of meal prepping for her is so intimidating and I want to help her because she's gonna be like not able to do a lot for like a month. And I told her today that she needs to let me know how I can help her, but I know that that's like such a not a helpful way to like pose that question. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do for her. She said that for the first like couple weeks she probably won't be eating much, mainly just like smoothies, and I can make a good smoothie. I make a killer banana split smoothie, but let me know if you have any ideas, because yeah, I just feel like I really would like to help her out. She helps me out with so much stuff. So I'll see you again when it's time to cook dinner. Not us trying to be quiet and Molly screaming. He's like, here he is. My plan with these videos is to try out new things so that I feel like I'm getting creative in my kitchen, because otherwise I will dread cooking. And I have been trying to incorporate more beans. It's technically a bean, right? Edamame is a bean, soybean, yeah, so bean. I've been seeing these crispy rice salads all over social media. I've seen so many different people do so many different takes on them, but I am essentially just going to take this rice and make it crispy in the air fryer and then whip up a salad and see if it will be something that I will keep in my weekly rotation, or maybe it'll give you some inspiration. I don't know, but here we go. That was a lot. Okay, I've seen everybody online do it this way, put it on the thing and then spread it together, but it definitely would have made more sense for me to mix this up in a bowl and then spread it on this pan. So that's annoying. So one thing about me is I don't like sauces. I'm not a sauce person, but I'm trying to learn to love them because they make things that otherwise would be like meh, and maybe I wouldn't look forward to eating something good. And so this recipe calls for a sauce over the whole thing, including the rice and the Impossible chicken nuggets we're gonna add later. But I don't want my Impossible nuggets to be soggy, and I'm really excited about the flavor of the rice. So we're just gonna put like the dressing on the veggies, and then I'm gonna stack it. If you're a normal person, don't do it like me. And the recipes that I've been seeing online don't say how much of literally anything to include. So, you know, that's honestly my kind of style of cooking, is like figure it out as you go. You know, you see what I'm doing. Just do something similar. Onion powder, garlic powder that I made myself using a ridiculous amount of Costco garlic like months ago, maybe almost a year ago now, and I still have some left, which is incredible. Regular salt, whoa. As a girl who doesn't like a sauce, the fact that I can so clearly tell that there's mayo in here is freaking me out a little bit. Ugh. I'm just not a fan of mayo. Should I put a little bit more soy sauce? Will that balance out the mayo a little bit more? If you like sauce, I think this would be great. It's just the mayo that I'm like, ugh, no thank you. Also prefer my foods to not be mixed together. So did I just turn this salad into a rice bowl? Yeah. Okay, I have to tell you, I already tried the rice and it is so good. Something I do think I will make on a regular basis. I don't even think it needs to be like crispy, because I didn't do the full 30 minutes at 400 so that it didn't get like hard, because I knew I wasn't gonna put it in a salad. I was gonna basically make a rice bowl. So that is definitely something I would do again. I can see myself making this on a regular basis. It's stuff I usually have on hand already. Maybe I could replace the cucumbers with the carrots, because I don't always have cucumbers on hand, but I always have carrots on hand. And just because I'm weird about sauces, I would probably sub the mayo for tahini. Anyway, I hope this gave you some inspiration in the kitchen and like gives you a little bit of an idea of the type of recipes I go for. They're pretty simple, and I'm truly on a journey to like fall in love with making food. I gotta find this balance between like getting creative in the kitchen, which I feel like this was a little bit creative, and also finding things that I can make on repeat. So I'm on a journey and I'm including you in it. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye guys.